Hey everyone, welcome back to the channel. Thank you so much for being here. And today we're talking about a question that I see asked all the time, and I'm gonna give my 2 cents on what I think. So the question is, should you turn your equipment off or should you leave it on all the time? So I think that there's 2 answers to this question, but I believe that the one answer is going to be for the majority of most people. So with churches being 84% in the country, 350 people are under, that says to me that most likely the amount of events that are going on in churches that you should be powering off your equipment. It's a computer. Imagine using a computer once a week and then leaving it on the entire week to do nothing but sit there and use up power and those type of things. That's why I think that you should shut your equipment off. Now, what I will say is that some of you have 2 services, or a Sunday morning and a Sunday night, or a Saturday night and a Sunday morning. If you are doing something similar to that, I would leave the equipment on. Once it starts up, leave it on till you're finished, and you're gonna go days before you end up having another event. The reason why I say that is because 95% of problems come at startup. Is there a reason for that? I'm sure there's a scientific reason behind it, but I'm not positive for myself. So my suggestion to you would be to shut your equipment off unless you have events that are back to back or within 12 hours of each other. Now, that doesn't go for everyone. So there's some people that have events every single day. I don't think that it's a problem if you have an event on Sunday morning, Monday morning, Tuesday morning, Wednesday evening. If you want to just leave your equipment on, leave it on. Reboot it every once in a while when you have a problem. Because like I said, most problems come at startup. And if you're using your equipment every day, like for instance my computer, I don't power my computer down every day. When I get done with it, and then I leave it on all night, because it's not a big deal for it to just go. There's some argument to be said with components if you're doing things every single day or a majority of the time, with the components getting warm, getting cold, getting warm, getting cold, getting warm, getting cold, getting warm, getting cold, multiple times a week, that can wear on the equipment. There is that. But for you guys who are doing 1 or 2 services a week, that's not that much to turn it on and let it get warm for a little bit and then shut it off. It's not the end of the world. The argument about the components getting warm and getting cold is pretty disputed, so I'm not sure how I feel about that, but I can understand why people think that. 87% of you have not subscribed to this channel. I would really appreciate it if you did. It really helps the algorithm. Comment down below. Let me know, do you start up your equipment every week or do you leave it on throughout the entire week? I'd really love to know that. So one of the other things that people say is that it uses power all the time and we don't want to charge the church. I think that is kind of an older school argument. I think that they're depending on the equipment that you have. Like a lot of equipment nowadays is Energy Star rated, and if you don't know what Energy Star rated means, it means that it doesn't really pull power. I mean, it's pulling power, but it's pulling so little power just to like keep the brain running type thought process. But like, for instance, like an L-Acoustics amplifier barely pulls any power at all. Like you're not going to notice it on your electric bill until like you're pushing audio through it and it's actually drawing the power, because most amplifiers are smart amplifiers now. Now, there are some Crown and some QSC ones that aren't smart, that they're still just kind of like, the cheaper ones that they're just like an amplifier. There's no brain in them at all. It's literally like power. That's it. Those I would definitely say are going to be pulling power a majority of the time that they're on, whether they have something going through them or not. But a lot of the newer ones, from PowerSoft and some of the newer QSCs and some of the newer Crowns are all Energy Star rated. And that's designed because they know that a lot of they have to design things to be in a plethora of different scenarios. So if they're in, say, a retail store, the retail store is probably not going to power them down every day, but the retail store doesn't want to be paying power. So Energy Star, they shut the music off and there's nothing to be played. So the amplifier goes into Energy Star mode where it's just pulling enough power to run its processor, and as soon as it starts getting a signal again, it starts drawing the full power. So yeah, you could leave those on and you wouldn't have any problem with your electric bill. Most people, I don't think, would ever notice any change in their electric bill. Same thing with a lot of like the newer consoles. They just don't pull a lot of power. You know, it's not back in the old days where I remember we had an old Allen Heath analog console where the power supply to the thing was like this big and it weighed 50 pounds. Like, that's just not the reality of it now, because it's a computer that's doing all the processing and it's not a bunch of other components that are pulling power constantly to like operate. So I think that we're just living in a realm now where that argument kind of goes out the window. So in conclusion, what am I telling you? I think that if you're doing 1 or 2 events a week, I think you should power down your equipment. And I think that if you're doing multiple events throughout the week, you know, 3, 4, 5, sometimes 6 or 7, I think that that's going to be kind of up to you and what is your comfort level. I think that it's okay to leave it on because it's not pulling that much power, and I don't think it's that much wear and tear on the equipment. But again, that kind of comes down to what do you think you need. So make sure you hit that subscribe button. I would really love for you guys to comment down below. What is your favorite speaker system? Is it QSC? Is it Fulcrum? Is it JBL? Is it L-Acoustics, Meyer, D&B, PreSonus, Works Audio? Like, there's a bunch of them. What is your favorite speaker system? I'd love to know down in the comments. So thank you guys so much. Don't forget to subscribe and check out my website, emtmi.com. If you need anything you can buy from there, you can hit the contact form or shoot me an email. The description's down below. I also have a couple new blogs out, which I'll put down in the description of this video as well. And until next time, I'm Justin. Thanks so much, guys.
Yeah.